Stop saying I'm a bad bitch. First of all, bitch is a female dog. Why would you want to be a female dog? Why would you want to be a dog, period? A. And then B, why would you call yourself a bitch? And C, why would you call yourself a bad bitch? That's a double negative. So not only are you a dog, you're a bad dog. Why would you want to be a bad dog? Let's look at an actual bad dog. A bad dog is a dog that doesn't follow instructions. You give it orders, it doesn't sit. It goes around bite people. Probably has rabies. Probably bites his owner, bites the kids, just out here wilding. But is this something you really want to manifest for yourself? Like, do you really want to be a bad bitch? That sounds all good, and then you actually become a bad bitch, and then you actually become somebody who is hard to live with. You actually become somebody who bites the hand that feeds them. You actually become somebody who is stubborn, who is hard to be around. You actually become somebody, maybe doesn't have rabies, but has some disease, probably caught something. Stop claiming these negative identities and summoning them onto yourself. Then you wonder why life sucks for you. Then you wonder why you're depressed.
Eating to live, yeah, I'm living to eat. Catch me enjoying vegan recipes. Fiend for chlorophyll.
Greetings, it's your boy Gartatia. Today I want to talk about the conversation, the words that you are using in everyday lingo. You need to really reflect on them and look into these words. Oftentimes we go through life and we feel less. Oftentimes we go through life and we feel depressed. Oftentimes we go through life and we feel drained. We feel like this lack of energy, and we feel this low confidence and low self-esteem in ourselves. And yes, it could be your diet. Yes, it could be bad habits. Yes, it could be a toxic environment. It could be a combination of those. But a lot of times, what it is you can have the perfect environment. You can have an abundance of good habits. You could have a crazy routine and regime you stick to religiously, and everything is just checking off in your life, but you're still suffering from low self-esteem. You find yourself suffering from low confidence. You find yourself having constant negative dialogue run in your head nonstop, and you just like, what's wrong? And you pump the brakes and you just talk to a therapist. You pump the brakes and you take a vacation. You pump the brakes and you talk to your shaman, or your spiritual guru, or whoever it is, just wondering why you keep having these self-sabotaging thoughts and beliefs, even if you're doing everything right. And a lot of times it's the words you're using on the day-to-day basis. And like, what hit me like a bag of bricks. So last week I was at Heatwave Festival. So this is my first time officially shifting onto a new phase of my dopamine detox. I won't say ending it. So I was super duper excited. So one of my friends is dumb late. So another friend is going to the festival. He's like, yo, Gartasia, I'ma scoop you. Be there in 15. He pulls up in the whip. He scoops me. We're heading there. I haven't seen the guy in like 3 months. So it's good catching up. It's good, seeing where he's been at life-wise, mentally, spiritually. And we get close to the rave. It's in the hood, west side, in this place called Oak Park. And basically we're kind of lost. We couldn't find it. So as we're lost, checking the map, checking the festival website, trying to see if they sent an exact address, just trying to figure out where this rave is, because we don't hear music. We don't really see a bunch of ravers, wearing fishnet and glitter everywhere. So we're kind of like, is this the right place? Like, are we lost? So there's this part where we're in the park and we kind of going up this one-way kind of small trail through the park, and it looks kind of run down. And I see some brothers kind of just sitting on the corner, smoking, chilling, drinking and stuff. And as we drive by, they kind of mug us, like look at us like, what the fuck you want? Definitely bad energy. And we kind of comment on it, like, why they got to be so aggressive, whatever. But he kind of kept going with it and was like, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's the problem with black people. And, these people, they're never going to be nothing. And, like, that's why I try to stay away. And I was kind of just like, yeah, it's not everybody, though. And, you have to take each case by case. And I kept trying to, like, not play the devil's advocate, but I always try to challenge my friends. I always try to give my friends a different perspective. Because otherwise, what's the point of having a friend if they're just going to be an echo chamber of everything you say? You might as well just talk to yourself. So even if my friend is saying something that I agree with, by the way, I didn't agree with that statement of him kind of just grouping all black people in the hood as like basically one thing, and then they can't change, and then they're stuck in their ways and they'll never be shit. I disagree with that statement, so I kind of had to correct him. And he's black himself, and he is familiar with the hood. He didn't grow up in the hood, but I believe he went to schools with a lot of people from the streets. So it seems like he had a bad experience. Maybe he was bullied. So I understand why he feels that way, but I just wanted to assure him that like not everybody from the hood is like that. But anywho, coming back to a comment he made, and then, so basically we reached this dead end, and we had to like turn around, and we had to go back around that same road that those guys are kind of looking shady and looking at us like who are these fresh pizza meat? Like they could tell like we not from around there. And as we're coming back, he's like joking like, "Oh, they gonna shoot us. We gonna get shot." Like, and then I'm just looking like in my head. I told him like, not even in my head. I straight up said like, "Bro, don't play like that. Like, why would you even say that?" It's not that like it's not even that it's the fact it's a joke. It's just like why would you say like that's not even funny because it's like that's like life or death. Like you don't want to summon that energy around you. All right. So that's what I tell him, and we kind of joke about it, and he's like, yeah, yeah, whatever. And we go to the rave, we finally find it, and we have a great time. But that kind of stuck on me, and I've been wanting to make a video about just how just the words we use jokingly, or the words we use to be relatable, or the words we use to fit in, a lot of times fit it we try to use these words to fit in with people, but actually we never fit in with the person we're trying to be as a result of that. Sometimes fitting in is using a lingo that that group uses, right? Like especially like through text. How many times do you thoughtlessly send a RIP or send a coffin emoji, or someone says a joke and then you say dead or you say dying, or say, or even worse, like, and I went through a phase like of kind of this cringy high school slash freshman and sophomore year of college where it was cool to kind of just say like KMS, which I feel like KMS is like the worst. That's I don't even want to say it, but KMS, if you know what it is, you know what it is. But yeah, people just say like KMS or dying or rip, and it's just like why are we using these words to define something as supposed to be awesome as laughing? And I know like dying is like dying of laughter. Then say that complete sentence, say dying of laughter, don't just say dying. Even dying of laughter, that's still problematic, but I can get that because listen, I'm not the type to like, oh, Gartasia's so serious he doesn't enjoy jokes, like he has a stick up his ass. Like no, I enjoy good jokes. Even some dark humor is fine. The problem happens is when a lot of times these people are using these words in their everyday life. A lot of times people are using these words multiple times a day in every text message, in every post, in every Instagram live video, in every face-to-face conversation. They're using this lingo: kill myself, KMS, rip, I'm so stupid, I feel so dumb, ugh, I hate myself. And like, and it's just like, how many times can you repeat these words and then claim that they don't have an effect on you? How many times can you not study for an exam and then complain that you failed the exam? How many times can you not get groceries and then complain when your refrigerator is empty? How many times can you not reach out and build your relationship with your close friends and then complain that you feel alone? You see where I'm going with this? Our life is nothing more than the culmination of our daily practices, our daily habits. That's all our life is. The quality of your life is going to reflect the frequency, the quantity, and the quality of your daily habits, of your daily rituals, of the day in, day out, the things that you're doing thoughtlessly. A lot of these things are mindless, and things become mindless when they like are a super duper habit. There's some habits where like they take some conscious thought. Like I would say brushing your teeth is a habit, but it still takes conscious thought. Like you still wake up and think, oh, let me brush my teeth. Like you still think about it. So it's still, I would say, a conscious habit. Another conscious habit is still a habit. It's conscious. Like not everybody. Some of y'all don't drink water, but I would say drinking water is a conscious habit. Like you think, oh, let me go get some water. You get some water. But there's some habits that are non-conscious. Like you do them without thinking, such as like biting your nails. That's a habit. Like you don't actually plan like, oh, I can't wait to get home and bite my nails. Oh, I can't wait to finish this class and bite my nails. Oh, I can't wait to feel nervous on this date and bite my nail. No, no one plans to bite their nails. It's a non-conscious habit. You just bite your nails because that's what you always done. You have grooves in your brain, and those grooves just want to be filled with the satisfaction of performing that action, right? And a lot of us, the problem with this lingo is not that we use it sometimes. The problem with this lingo is not that every once in a while we indulge ourselves in some dark humor. I love me some dark humor every once in a while. That's fine. That's all a part of shadow work. That's all a part of the yin and yang balance. Like nothing's not everything's positive, not everything's negative. That's okay here and there, a little dark humor. That's fine. The problem happens when you're incorporating this dark energy, you're summoning this dark energy for no reason. And the thing is, it's for no reason. It's not like you're watching a horror movie, so it's like, okay, this is gonna be a dark energy day, or it's not like this is a sad topic and like this is actually a fucked up topic, and this is time to channel that dark energy. No, it's like people are channeling this dark energy in like regular lighthearted conversations every single day. Why do you feel the need to say KMS when a teacher like makes a stupid comment in class, or why do you feel the need to say KMS because you saw somebody you hate in the cafeteria, or why do you feel the need to say, oh, I hate myself because you kind of tripped and stumbled on your way to class? Why do you feel the need to say that, oh, I feel I'm so stupid I forgot your name when you forget somebody's name? Why do you feel the need to say I'm bad with names, you forget somebody's names? Right? And how often do we say that? I'm speaking to myself like I'm so guilty of, and I still say these, I still, all of these things, I still do them because it's just like, it takes so much time to undo, to unlearn, almost as much time to learn it. So I'm in the process of unlearning. I am by no means perfect. But like, especially like the, I'm bad with names. Why even claim that identity as why be somebody who says, even if it's an excuse that you forgot someone's name, and it's kind of like it's becoming almost like a cool identity. It's like, oh, I'm shitty with names, and you use that as an excuse. Like, okay, I forgot your name, but it's not my fault. I forgot your name. I'm just bad with names. So it's almost like you think that you're getting away with it because you're bad with names, but actually you're reminding yourself, oh, I'm somebody who's bad with names. So let me continue to be bad with names. That's the message you're telling yourself. The message you're saying to that person, the message you tell yourself are two different messages. Actually, they're the same message because the person hearing that, let's be real, everyone who says they're bad with names, the person who heard that, honestly, is just like, he just doesn't care. Because if that was your crush, if that was a celebrity, if that was somebody give you $1 million, I guarantee you remember their name. So they just know it's a bullshit excuse that's just been popularized by society, and it's just kind of this cool lingo now. It's just out of pocket term of just, oh, I'm shitty with names, and it's like, oh, okay. Now, if you're mad at me because I'm shitty at names, now it's your fault for being sensitive. It's almost like a deflection mechanism, and I'm guilty of doing that. But I'm trying to stop using these words. Instead of saying I'm bad with names, I try to say, okay, I'm gonna remember that next time. That's all you gotta say. Instead of taking on an identity that apologizes, that allows that negative behavior, just in the moment, make a promise to yourself that the next time you're gonna do better. Just do better. Let's start telling people that we're gonna do better. Let's start telling people that they deserve our best version in that moment of the fuck up. If you forget someone's name, ask them, yo, not gonna lie, forgot your name. What's your name? So and so, say it again. I for sure. I'm gonna remember that next time. That's all you gotta say. You don't gotta say I'm shitty with names. You don't gotta say I'm bad with names. You don't gotta say, oh, I always forget. I've always, or this is my favorite. Oh, I'm really good with faces, but when it comes to names, and that word hurts because like I use that. That's like my go-to. It's like I'm really good with faces, but I'm there. It's almost like, oh yeah, I'm not a serial killer, but I definitely molested a 3-year-old. Or it's like, oh yeah, yeah, I wouldn't rob a bank, but I'll definitely shoot up a school. It's just like, just because you wouldn't do one thing or you're really good at one thing doesn't excuse the fact that you just did something equally bad or worse, right? So it's like, stop using these excuses. Just do better and be better. And don't care about if that person deserves that version of you, that best version of you. It doesn't matter because either way, if that person deserves your best version or not, it's still practice, repetitions. You put the reps in. It's still practice of you being your best version or being a better version every day, so that when it is somebody who you really want to show up as your best version as, there's not so much thought going into it. It's not so much concentration and anxiety going into it because you've become somebody who just does the best version, who is the best version as much as they can. So it's effortless, right? And that's how you have, and people chalk it off to, oh, we had such great chemistry. Oh, the connection was just all the stars aligned, and we just vibed. And it's like, no, both of you all have been putting in the work, and this is what it looks like when two people put in the work and they come together, magic happens. But you mess up that magic by using this self-deprecating humor that is like super popular with like young people, especially like upper high school and young adults in college and like soon college grads. It's just like we just use these words all the time, like these negative words, like, oh, I feel like shit, like words like that, or like, oh, I'm stupid, and saying like, oh, I feel so dumb right now. Like, stop saying these things because all they're gonna do is the part of you that is really sensitive, the part of you that's really scared of criticism. Every time you say that, the most important person to hear that from is yourself. Like people say, oh, what other people say hurts you. And the people you love the most, what they say hurts you. But you know what hurts more than all of these guys put together? The person you care about the most, which is yourself. So obviously, if yourself is telling the inner you that you ain't shit, or you're shitty at names, or I hate my life, or KMS, or dead, or I'm dying. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what context or what energy is behind it. Just the nature of these words are dark. Just the nature of these words carry this negative energy of demoralization, this negative energy of suppression, this negative energy of boxing you in and keeping you compact, and making you be a dimmer version of yourself, making you be a suppressed version of yourself, right? So stop saying I hate my life. Stop saying that. Don't joke about that. Don't can't find parking in a car and then you say, "Oh, I hate my life." Stop fucking saying that. It doesn't matter if it's a joke. It doesn't matter if you're trying to fit in. Don't say that shit. Because the reality is, you may not hate your life now, but if you keep saying that, you will eventually hate your life. How many people do we see in their 30s, in their 35s, in their 40s? Fuck it. Some of them going into their 30s. Like we see the age set in. We see the stress line set in. We see the gray hair coming in young. We see people in their 20s looking like 10 years older than like people used to look in the past. People have always used negative words, but I do feel like with TikTok and social media, it's becoming more trendy to talk like that. But we see all these things over time. You end up, I call it accidentally manifestation, or they say a happy accident. Using these words gives you a sad accident, and the sad accident is you 5 to 10 years from now manifesting these words that you're just throwing into the universe casually, and then now they're coming back at you, and then now you actually hate your life. Now you're actually stupid. Now you're actually bad with names. Now, God forbid, you actually KMS. Now actually rip, actually dead, actually dying. I don't fucking know. Stop saying these words. I try stop say, like I stopped using coffin emoji and the tombstone emoji, the skull emoji, skull and bones. I stopped using all that shit. Like pandemic 2020. Like even then, like even when the trend first started, it was just weird to me. I was like, wait, why are we glorifying? Like I could see if it's Halloween or some shit, but it's a normal day. It's literally spring. It feels like summer. Why are we using skull and bones emoji? Like, is this some sort of biker gang or some shit? Like, why am I out here repping the skull emoji and the coffin tombstone emoji when like I'm having the time of my life? I'm rolling from laughter, and somebody in the group chat finally said something funny, and I'm genuinely like, I'm crying laughing. Why would I put dying? Right? And it's like being mindful lets you catch yourself following this. I call it sheep mentality. I call it brainwashing, because let's be real, we never used to do that like 5, 10 years ago, and now we all do it. So it's something learned. And being mindful is understanding that it is a learned behavior, understanding that it is a program. And being mindful is choosing to acknowledge the program and then evaluate it. Is this program helping me or is this program hurting me? And if it's hurting you, being mindful is stopping that shit. Or habits are hard. You can't just stop them. Sometimes you have to replace them with something else. So replace these things with something else. Instead of using the dead emoji, or instead of using the skull and bones emoji, use the hug emoji. I've fallen in love with the hug emoji. People be like, what the fuck is this? I'll be like, listen, this is the new me. I'm hugging everybody. When you say some funny stuff, sometimes the laugh and crying emoji gets too old. I'll throw a little hug emoji in there. Sometimes the hug emoji gets old. I'll throw the what's the blue hug emoji? There's two hug emojis. I'll throw the blue hug emoji in there. Sometimes really funny. I'll go old school. I'll pull the X and the D, or I'll pull like the two what's it? I don't know that sign. The point direction up sign, and then I'll just straight draw stuff with the text. Anything is better. Just stop using these emojis. And then there's another group of people, and it's like it's not even, they don't use like to laugh, which I feel like is most sinister, because I feel like what is something that humans love to do is smile and laugh, and that's already been perverted to like skull and bones and tombs. And somehow got dark. But I see another group of people, like I call them these like the sexters, or like whatever, the freaks on the phone. I'm seeing this new trend where they're using like the demon emoji, and I did kind of slip in that temporarily, but people use like the purple demon emoji, or they say like, "Oh, I'm a demon," or "I'm on demon time," or the phrase "I'm a bad bitch," or "she's bad," or "he bad." Like, stop saying these words. Stop saying "I'm bad." Stop saying "I'm a bad guy." Like, literally, stop saying this shit. Like, you are literally pulling out a sniper rifle, aiming through the time machine, and you're just sniping the fuck out of your future self, right? You're sniping the life out of your future self. You're sniping the joy out of your future self. You're sniping happy experiences. You're sniping the potential of fulfillment out of your future self every time you slap a demon emoji on that spicy text. Every time you slap every time you say like I'm on demon time. What the fuck does demon time mean? Up to no good? Why are you up to no good? And if you are up to no good, don't call it that. Say, listen, say I'm doing some really interesting stuff right now. I'm making some memories that I'm gonna remember forever. Like, be creative with your words. People don't want to be creative. People don't want to be imaginative. People just want to put everything on autopilot so they can fit in, so they don't have to put any thought into anything. And then when they actually do have to think, it's so hard because they've never had to think a day in their life. Right? Stop saying I'm on demon time. Say that you don't gotta say I'm on angel time. You could just say I'm having the time of my life. You could just say I'm on a time where I'm focusing on experiences. You could say I'm on a time where time is gonna go by fast because I'm having so much fun. Be creative with your words. Become a wordsmith. Stop saying I'm a bad bitch. First of all, bitch is a female dog. Why would you want to be a female dog? Why would you want to be a dog, period? A. And then B, why would you call yourself a bitch? And C, why would you call yourself a bad bitch? That's a double negative. So not only are you a dog, you're a bad dog. Why would you want to be a bad dog? Let's look at an actual bad dog. A bad dog is a dog that doesn't follow instructions. You give it orders, it doesn't sit. It goes around bite people. Probably has rabies. What else is a bad dog? A bad dog is somebody probably bites his owner, bites the kids, just out here wilding. Is this something? And it might sound fun on paper, on pen and paper, but is this something you really want to manifest for yourself? Like, do you really want to be a bad bitch, right? And it's like that sounds all good, and then you actually become a bad bitch, and then you actually become somebody who is hard to live with. You actually become somebody who bites the hand that feeds them. You actually become somebody who is stubborn, who is hard to be around. You actually become somebody maybe doesn't have rabies, but has some disease, probably caught something. Is that so? Guess what? You just became a bad bitch. Now you're actually a bad bitch. Stop claiming these negative identities and summoning them onto yourself, and then you wonder why life sucks for you. Then you wonder why you're depressed. Then you wonder why you never have energy to be productive. You know, and it's like it's the people who they do everything right in life. It's like they go to church. These are the people who they've on dopamine detox. These are the same people, they work out 6 times a week. They have elevated the career ladder, started 3 side hustles, and are training for a marathon, and then their life still sucks, and they're wondering why they're shitty. And it's like, did you evaluate what kind of words you're using? What kind of self-talk you're having? Did you look into how you're communicating with yourself through the words that you use on a day-to-day basis? If the answer is no, then there you go. That is probably why you're still blocking your manifestations, right? So yeah, a little bit of a rant, but I just had to get that off my chest because yeah, I just see good people. I see otherwise successful people, positive people to be around. But just I see them just and I see myself some every once in a while I'll hop out. I don't use the skull and bones, but every once in a while I'll hop out with the RIP. I'm not gonna that's my favorite. I'll hop out with the RIP. Or I'll hop out with the demon emoji one time, once or twice I have used it. But it's like if we're trying to become our best versions, if we're trying to actually be walk the talk and actually be about what we say we're about, then how can we continue to be hypocrites in the language that we use? Whenever there's a disconnect between our thoughts and our words and our actions, all of that comes together and it makes our future uncertain. And the future is going to be uncertain anyway, but it makes the uncertainty even bigger. Because now it's like, the universe is like, what the fuck do you want? So now you're saying this, but then you're doing this, and then you're thinking this. Which one do you want me to do for you? And the universe is like, all right, we gonna do nothing then. Or even worse, if you're somebody always saying bad stuff about yourself, the universe is gonna be like, oh, we're gonna feel like we're gonna make your words come true because it looks like you put a lot of energy into the words. We're gonna make your words come true. And if you're speaking positive words to yourself, that's gonna be great. If you're speaking negative words, that's what's gonna happen. And you can't point the finger, you can't blame anyone. All you can do is blame yourself because you got yourself in that situation because you wanted to fit in. You got yourself in that situation because you wanted to look like you're hip with the kids and you're the cool one and you got all the lingo and you're Mr. Urban Dictionary, right? And now your life's in shambles. Anywho, I hope this video helped you become more mindful and conscientious about the words you used. Personally, I have a lot of work to do. I'm trying to cut down on profanity because I know profanity are like, how can I sit here and act like the profanity that I use isn't also a part of that? I am working on that. I'm working on that. I'm not even gonna make an excuse for it. I'm working on that. But I hope this is a lesson for everybody and myself as a reminder. Be more conscious with the words you use. Be more mindful with the words you use. The words you use have power. And if you are trying to use that power for you or against you, the choice is yours. But you always have that power, you always have that choice. Anywho, as always, stay hydrated, stay breathing in that good ass oxygen, and most importantly, stay basic. I love you.